Welcome all to the fifth part of the series Begin Right, Parental Role in Child's Education. When it comes to the educational journey of a child, the age till when he needs a very strong and constructive support is 12. Yes, 12. By 12, a normal child is in a position to think for himself, and the role of the parent after that is completely passive. It is supposed to be passive. Under 12, we can divide his educational journey in 3 milestones. Let us look at those milestones. The first milestone. Yes, we can call it the phase 1 after the phase 0, which we have already seen in an earlier video. The phase 1 can be 0 to 5 years of your child. Apparently, it may sound very insignificant with respect to the child's education, but it is actually the most significant phase for your child's education. The foundation laid in these years is actually a decisive factor in constructing his building of education in the coming years. What is the age of your child? 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? And what is your age? 30 years. Your age as a person is 30 years, but your age as a parent is as much as the age of your child. A mother gives birth to the child, and the child gives birth to the mother. If your child is 2 years old, you are a 2-year-old mother or a 2-year-old father. And don't misinterpret this if it is your second child, because every child is a unique packet and you are reborn with every child. So, as much as important it is to know your child, that the child is a gift given to you and you need to unwrap that gift and understand the features of it. It is equally important to unwrap yourself as a parent, because we have never experienced ourselves as a parent. We have never explored and looked into ourselves as a parent. So, in the first 5 years of your child, it is first essential to know our parenting type. What type of a parent I am. And then, of course, we need to understand the type of our child. And then to create a harmony, to adjust, because the child is too young and naive to adjust. So we have to orient ourselves to the type of our child and create a tunnel. Understand that for a dialogue and communication, there has to be a connection, a channel. Otherwise, the parent is pouring something and the child is just not connected to the parent. He is not receiving anything. So, the very first step of parenting is to know your type as a parent, to know the type of your child, and then to adjust the types so as to build a bridge. Once the bridge is built, transaction is possible. And if this bridge is not built in the first 5 years, it is probably never ever built in life. That is why so many times when the child has grown up, they say we don't match with our parents are different. That is because the parent has never tried to match himself with the child when the child was young. Once this bridge is built and the communication starts, what you are talking is reaching in the right sense to your child. We can use these first 5 years for very massive developments in the child that will bring about a healthy academic growth. Raising emotional quotients, as already mentioned earlier, building bonds, giving a security to the child is probably the most important task in these 5 years. The security the child has in his heart that my parents are with me and my parents and my family is supportive raises the capacity and the potential of the child by leaps and bounds. So making your child secured becomes the first target of these 5 years, and then raising the IQ through fun learning, some very basic and interesting introduction to maths and languages, and of course building social and cultural awareness, basic behavioral norms through precept. If the first 5 years are very consciously and constructively used in parenting, the rest of the life really becomes smooth. So if you wish your child takes care of you in the right manner when you grow old, please wait a moment and plan these 5 years as a parent. Your other ambitions, your personal professions can wait. They can shape up again once the child is 5 years old. But these precious years will never come back. Once the child is 5 years old, when the first 5 years are correctly utilized, the child becomes free and expressive. He is not afraid to cry. He is not afraid to get angry. He is not afraid to be himself, and that is exactly when you need to sharpen your observations. The child may not be able to express verbally, but his body and his actions are telling what he is, who he is, how he is. If we are able to read our child, we will be able to really navigate him to become what he has come for. We will be able to place him in the right slot. So 5 to 9 years, we need to passively observe our child and slowly start letting him be. This is not a sudden process. We have to slowly loosen our controls on the child. That is correct parenting. Understand that these are the best building years of the child. The child has come out of his toddler phase and he is still not into the rat race of academic performances and admissions and so on. So we can actually best experiment with the child in these years, exploring different options, leaving him alone, enjoying certain things with him, letting him be, allowing him to get into a mess, experimenting, So if we have used these 4 or 5 years in the best way, they will actually give us very good leads when it comes to serious options for career and life for your child. Observing passively, understanding the body language of the child can give us umpteen insights towards his real nature and real strength, what he will be able to do, what he will love to do, where will he excel, and what is not his area, what is not his behavioral pattern. As a parent, we can have a very clear picture, and then we can actually plan his next 4 to 5 years, how to help him further excel in his strengths, how to overcome his weaknesses to an optimal level, rule out some impossible options for him in academics. Through small discussions and easy tips, we can really enrich his math, his language. We can develop his logical thinking through practical exposures. Make him go to a bank in front of you, you stay behind. Make him take a ticket. Give him small tasks, and all these things together are going to give you very useful insights, and at the same time you will be able to strengthen your bonds which you have already laid in the first 5 years. Let your child start feeling that my parent is my best friend and I can say just anything to my mom or dad. Yes, they may scold me, but still they will not reduce their love for me. They will not ridicule me. You need to tighten your grips in these 4 to 5 years. By the age of 9, the child is 70–80% done. After that, it becomes little difficult to remold him. But he's still into that phase where we can influence him, discuss with him, and bring about some constructive changes. It's never too late. In 9 to 12 years, maybe we may have to go a little behind, take a small reverse, and pick up the gear and get going. Zoom! As a parent, we need to be extremely clever while dealing with our adolescent child, because the children have already started feeling that I know everything. I don't need an advice. I don't need a guidance. It is a very delicate balance not to break their confidence, not to hamper their decisive capacity, and at the same time constructively influence them, steer their strengths in the right directions. We need to be a really clever parent. We are definitely in a better position than the 5 to 9 years age gap. The child has already started showing some traits which can lead us to definite options in academics, in his educational planning, and we can most definitely make a tentative career plan by the time the child is 12-year-old. We can shortlist a few things, rule out other things, and all this we need to do very cleverly. We need to strike a balance in the aspiration of the child in our aspiration for our child as a parent, and cross check it with the practicality of the situation. We need to do this all by keeping a friendly rapport with the child. Now is the time when we should cushion our child, give him a blanket, and slowly push him to make his own decisions with the right reassurance that we are with you. You decide, we are with you. The parameters of parenting will change once the child has hit his 12 or 13. The teen. Parenting a teen is different than parenting a child below 12. If our journey of parenting has been perfect or as close to perfect as possible by the time the child has turned 12, after 12, we are great friends. There is a Sanskrit Subhashit that says that once your son comes to your shoulder, Putram Mitrancha Dharayet, consider him as your friend. Discuss with him openly. Talk to him. Trust his views. Respond. Don't react. Respond to his emotions, to his aspirations, and respect them in his perspective. Yearn a lot. Yearn for your child, yearn for your bond, and yield that bond, which is the most important thing than any decision in the life, up or down, left or right. Stay tuned. We will look at each of these milestones in deep details in the coming parts. Thank you for watching the video.